It just seems like overall, in general, there's a whole orgs don't take responsibility. Orgs have poor GMs. They're not trying out new GMs, and then coaches aren't enabled. I mean, there's a whole list of things, but it all starts with orgs, and orgs aren't really taking responsibility for
Hey,
that.
Damonte.
Yeah, I was going to
Um,
throw to him.
yeah, based off your time previously in academy and uh, challenger scene stuff, what do you think of the structure of the orgs in terms of their practice, the resources they give you to improve, whether that's the coaching feedback? Like, do you think that stuff's actually well developed in North America?
Well, I feel like actually the academy system has gotten kind of worse over time. I think because I played in the very first ever academy split, and then after that I played in LCS. So when like my split, I played in Echo Fox, and the entire. I mean, I was in a very unique spot because we did the 10-man internal things that like within Echo
Uh,
Fox. So it was like but actually that was the that was actually not academy. That was still when Challenger Series was a thing actually. And then the first academy split, everyone was like really really excited to do academy, and then it seemed like really good. Everyone was really it was a pretty competitive split, and then just like over time, it seems like the orgs have just stopped caring as much, and you see more teams that like have maybe no coach or a budget coach or like someone who doesn't know anything, or like you have 5 players who probably don't know, like you don't even know if some of those players should be there, and it seems like over time it's like orgs just feel like they need to give minimum salary to these players, and then that way they can just save budget for their main team.
Which teams and which players? Name and shame, Damonte.
well, I'll give you one. Team Liquid. No offense to Michael Archer, he's a great guy and from by all accounts that I can tell, a great manager. But they just gave him that position after they fired their coach. And then also no offense to the players on that roster, but some of the guys there.
Well, so it's funny you say that. I have an interview that was supposed to go up today with Steve where he talks about how they're doubling down on Academy this year, and I believe the Schernfire pickup today.
Yeah, and
got
that's
announced as
that's
part of
good.
that.
I mean, but if you look at some of the stuff that happened last year, and for somewhat you can argue, I think, an okay reason that there's not great incentive for the number one org in the league to invest in academy. Like none of those guys are getting a shot over any of their starters. So I think you can at least argue as well for a team like Team Liquid, it's not their job to do that shit, really. So I'm not flaming their decision making or anything. And like I said, I'm not flaming Artress. I'm just saying that like that's clearly not a team dedicated to building new talent in a league that's supposed to be existing to grow new talent.
I mean, I think the biggest issue though is that the winning academy or getting high ranking in academy has meant like less and less as it went on, because you started getting like these rosters that have a lot of like ex pro players or like ex LCS players, I'd say, and then like literally the 100 Thieves academy team that won the academy title, right? They had Someday on their team, and then just because they had Someday on their team, no one cares about the other 4 players on that academy roster, even though they're all like pretty solid players, right? And it's like super fucked up for those players that they're just in this situation where they're trying their ass off, but then no one cares that they just won academy because they're just like, oh my god, Someday carried them. And like how much of that is true, you might be able to like argue it, right? But it just blows that that's what academy has come to, because you go back in the very first academy split, the finals were it was Echo Fox Academy versus FlyQuest Academy, and I'm pretty sure like 3 or 4 of those players all went to LCS after that, and then everyone was like, "Wow, Academy is hella sick," because these players they worked hella hard this whole split, and then after that they all got their chance. But now it doesn't seem like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a GM like a week or two ago about it, and he was saying that like his experience with academy was that like half the scrims get canceled. People are kind of like wasting their time, not really doing not players necessarily, but like there's not much like it's not like the coaches aren't given authority, it's they just don't know what to do with it. I think a couple players I've talked to, veterans especially, feel like the coaches are like given like way too much power in North America rather than acting as like a sixth member of the team, or like trying to help things on rails. They're expected to like provide answers rather than ask the right questions, and a lot of them don't have the right answers, so you're getting like bullshit feedback sometimes. And like that's a problem in the LCS from coaches I've heard, or like analysts and stuff, let alone like what's in the academy system. And so you aren't getting productive scrim time, like just from a structural standpoint about people canceling and whatnot. as well as if you're getting actually good feedback and coaching. And then, like you're saying, it seems like the orgs themselves have been less interested in using it in the way it was initially set up.
I don't
Hopefully
wanna
it's
spend
changing this split, but
too much time on this call, but I assume, Mark, do we have another Academy person?
I think we have a couple other people.
Okay.
I guess
Then
my
we'll-
point with that topic was there are so many fucking problems on the org side that me hyping up Fragus or Saligo or Tactical is not going to fix any of the problem. To the caller's point about responsibilities and where they lie, I think it falls very heavily on the people who actually make these decisions and the people who talk about them.
For the split, you want to know my predictions? I predict nothing. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a future teller. Do you think I'm a future teller? Do you think I am a soothsayer? The seer of sooths? Everyone thinks that Team Liquid's just going to win again. Is that what you think's going to happen? It's live.
All right.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Get out of here. Ruined my work. Ruined. Absolutely ruined. Absolutely ruined.